Hey everybody, so I want to talk about my elite specs that I'm looking forward to the most. We're only like a month and a half away from End of Dragons, which is like insane to think about. The next month we're gonna be finally, fucking finally going into End of Dragons, going into Cantha. So excited about it. So I want to talk about the 9 elite specializations that I'm looking forward to in End of Dragons, and honestly, I like all of these. I think this is probably the most excited I've been for an elite spec, lineup ever. Which I only got into the game 2 years ago, but I played each elite spec plenty of times in the game. I played all of them at this point. And in terms of the total all-out lineup, this is probably my favorite overall lineup they've ever done, which is kind of crazy to think about. I know some people will definitely disagree with that, but like the numbers to me were never really that big of a deal, like damage numbers and all that, because that could be easily adjusted and probably will be by ANET. It was always about like just the way the class feels and plays. That's to me what's the most important with the betas and stuff like that. And so we're gonna be ranking them based off of my excitement for them. This is my opinion. This isn't anything related to the community. So there's definitely gonna be some things you disagree with in here, including my number 9 pick, which I'm pretty sure the whole community would disagree. But keep it chill, guys. And that's something the Guild Wars 2 community does exceptionally well, is just keeping it chill. So keep it that way and respect other people's opinions. Anyway, number 9 is going to be the Spectre for the Thief. The Thief, for me, the 2 elite specs were so fucking badass. We have Daredevil, which was sick as shit. And then also what's really cool is that you could technically wield a scythe on it because there's like staff scythe skins, which is really fucking cool as shit. So you could basically wield a scythe on there if you wanted to. And then you have Daredevil, which is I'm sorry, not Daredevil. Deadeye, which is fucking badass. Like, it's basically a sniper, which is cool as shit. Or like a bounty hunter, which is awesome. But Spectre to me isn't really as cool. And the reason why this is because it's support based. Now I find support based shit really boring. Unless if it's like Firebrand or something like that, I find it typically to be really fucking boring to play. I much prefer to do damage based, elite specs and all that. So yeah, it's just not really that fun. I didn't play with it too much. I will fully admit it's probably my least played elite spec during all the betas, but I just didn't really have a whole lot of fun with it. Number 8 is something I did have a bit of fun with, but the class fantasy of it and just the overall feeling of it to me, it didn't really feel too good. And that was Bladesworn for the Warrior. Now, to me, a Gunblade is cool, but it's not as cool as like a Greatsword or something like that, which I can already run on the Warrior. And I don't know, it just feels weird. It just the dragon trigger and stuff like that, like yeah, you're standing in place and there's gonna be teleport a little bit, and it just doesn't feel good to me. So that's kind of what I don't like about the Bladesworn overall. I'm also generally not a big fan of the Warrior. I don't find, pure, like, just physical damage fun, like, at all. I typically prefer to have a little bit of magic or something like that, which almost every other class has some form of magic, which Warrior just straight up doesn't. So, to me, not a very fun class fantasy, but for some people, Bladesworn is probably their favorite. I heard it could do good damage, but I'm not entirely sure what the numbers are on it. But anyway, yeah, Bladesworn. Okay, number 7 is going to be Willbender. So Willbender, this is like when we're getting into the shit that I actually like. In Beta 1, I fucking hated Willbender, man. It was so boring, and then I played it in Beta 4, and I was like, you know what? This isn't as boring as I remember it being. Dual swords and being like a fast-paced class is actually really badass. I actually really, really enjoy this. It was surprisingly enjoyable. I'm not sure if they made any changes to like the feeling of the class, as I don't typically really care about Guardian anymore. I used to main Guardian, but now I just don't really care as much because I played it so damn much. But Guardian to me, is not as cool as Revenant. So, if I'm going to pick a heavy armor, I'm going to pick Revenant. But Willbender was just fun. Dual swords, being really fast-paced, mobility-based, is just really, really fun. It almost feels like a thief to me. Like, it's just really, really fun. I can't wait to see how this thing performs in, like, strike missions and stuff like that, since that seems to be the main, instance content going forward. But yeah, Willbender. Not much I could say about it. I just really, really enjoy it. All right, number 6, right? Virtuoso for the Mesmer. I'm not really a big fan of the clone mechanic. I don't like how it disappears after every fight. To me, it's basically just a shitty version of a pet mechanic. I don't really enjoy it. I do like how it could, like distract the enemies and the actual thematic, um, the theme behind the clones and stuff like that. But to me, the gameplay of the clones have never been fucking fun at all, including phantasms and stuff like that. Just not a fun class to me. What I enjoy about Virtuoso is that they replace the clones with these little blades that hang over you, almost like the Sage from Final Fantasy XIV, the new class that came out for that. And basically, it just kind of works similar to the clone mechanic. You have your own shatter skills you could use. But instead of the clones coming out, it just straight up damage, man. It's just straight up a lot of damage going in. You got some single target, you got some AOE. It was really really fun when I played it. I will fully admit it. I didn't really play it too much in Beta 4, but Beta 1 I played quite a bit of it, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the dagger being ranged. That was definitely a very, very refreshing thing for a magic class, was the dagger to be ranged. Typically a dagger on, the magic classes are melee. So I really, preferred that sort of ranged play style. I loved running dagger as well as great sword or maybe sword. So yeah, it was really fucking fun, man. I really enjoyed my time at Virtuoso. I can't say that I'm gonna play it too much when the actual the game comes out, but maybe when I get bored of all the other classes, I'll jump on Virtuoso and have a bit of a blast with it. And yeah. All right, number 5 is gonna be Catalyst. So originally to me, Catalyst was fun, but the damage just wasn't there, like at all. So it just wasn't like I don't know. It just feels like another one of those classes that's like, you know, really piano-y. Which I don't entirely mind, but I just preferred Weaver, man. Weaver to me was way cooler than Catalyst was until Beta 4, and then all of a sudden things felt like way stronger to me. Beta 4, it just felt way better. It just the gameplay of it just felt so much better. And Catalyst was just good, and by good, I mean fucking incredible. I mean 55k DPS, like that's fucking insanity. So, it seems like this class is definitely going to be kind of hard to play, but for those who can master it, it's going to put out fucking absurd DPS, which is awesome. It's really, really cool. Yeah, I fucking love Catalyst. It's so much fun. I love the hammer. I love the idea of just like this magical hammer and just bonking enemies on the head or being at ranged and using these magic attacks at range. Really cool. Kind of reminds me of the Revenant, but also has some melee in there. But the Revenant hammer is probably cooler. I love the mist attacks you could do with them on the Revenant. That shit's so cool. Like, dude, when you leap, I think it's the 3 attack on the Revenant hammer. Like, that shit's fucking cool, man. I don't want to play Revenant now. But anyway, yeah, Catalyst. All right, number 4 is going to be Harbinger. Harbinger, to me, is really fucking badass. I love the pistol. I love the shroud and how we're going back to a ranged shroud again. And it's just kind of really cool. I just enjoy the class fantasy of it. I enjoy the pistol and the gameplay of it. I didn't really enjoy the blight mechanic until Beta 4. I like the elixirs. They're pretty powerful and fun to play with. Some of the traits are really cool. And other than that, it's a cool, fun elite spec. It's for the Necromancer, so I'm pretty much automatically going to enjoy it. Maybe besides like Scourge. I never really enjoyed Scourge too much. But yeah, Harbinger, it's a fun one. I'm just going to leave it at that. All right, number 3 is going to be the Vindicator. Now, I really wanted Revenant to get a great sword this time around, and we got it. And I'm just so excited for that. I love the great sword. It's really fun. I love the alliance stance and the main damaging abilities. My previous problem, I think it was Beta 2, right, is that, fucking, what was it? Vindicator, I hated the legend swapping mechanic. Where now in Beta 4, you have to manually swap it, which to me is way more fun than, it's swapping and having to use the blue skills or pressing it, but then also changing your red skills into blue skills, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is this? So I enjoy how it's essentially 2 stances in one. It gives you a bit more flexibility than just running 2 stances. Now you run 3, which is really cool. And I really like the alliance stance. I find it to be a lot of fun. Thematically, it's a blast. Is it as cool as Renegade? No. know, but you have a fucking great sword. All right, it's way cooler than a fucking short bow. So I just love the great sword, and I love heavy armor. Finally, all having great sword. Um, and it's fucking fun, dude. It's so much fun. And I think I'm probably just gonna leave it at that. Oh, the dodge! The dodge is the coolest fucking dodge in the game. Basically, you leap into the air. It's basically like a dragoon jump from Final Fantasy XIV. You leap in the air, but you can actually manually control where you go and leap on an enemy, and you evade throughout that entire time. It's a pretty long evasion window, and it's so much fucking fun. Yeah, you lose some of the flexibility of having a dodge. That's a big fucking deal. But it's also really, really fun. So Vindicator to me is something I'm looking forward to very, very much. And yeah. Okay, so coming in at number 2 is Mechanist, and if you're doing a process of elimination, number 1 is going to be Untamed. Now, I'm a Ranger main, so Mechanist to me has me excited because you have a pet. And that pet being a big-ass golem! So fucking cool. I absolutely love the golem and a lot of the flexibility behind it. All the traits. This is a true pet-based elite specialization. All the traits behind it are behind the pet. This is very pet-focused. It's either ride or die for the pet. If you fucking hate pets, Mechanist is probably gonna be your least favorite elite specialization of all time. You're gonna fucking hate it. But if you love pets like me, it's really phenomenal. It's so much fun. I think the biggest problem I have with it is that it's on the Engineer, which to me, the weapons on the Engineer just aren't fun. But fuck it. You get a big ass mech. And I just find it to be so badass. I love how you could switch between melee and ranged. And you could give it different attacks. I think you could have it be like boon support or something, or like a support or something. I kind of forget. But god damn, Mechanist is fun, man. I just love Mechanist. And number 1, Untamed. Like I said, Ranger main, so obviously Untamed is going to be the one I'm looking forward to the most. I love how they didn't get rid of the pet this time around like they did with Soul Beast, essentially, even though Soul Beast you do still have your pet. But most of the time in PvE environments, they just suck him in for bonus stats. So for me, Untamed definitely still could use a damage boost on the pet side, but the hammer side, it feels really, really good. And I'm very excited for the ambush attacks. And, the pet to me, I think probably should have a damage bonus while it is on Unleash mode. But other than that, I'm very much excited for Untamed, man. Untamed is going to be so much fucking fun. I had a blast with it during Beta 4, man. Beta 3 was already fun, but Beta 4, I played the shit out of Untamed. It was so much fucking fun. And the hammer is amazing. I love the cantrips. The heal and the exploding spores are probably my favorite ones. I love the traits behind it. The more vitality you get. I love ferocious symbiosis and how you can get more damage for your pet, and as well as yourself. It's just so fucking cool, man. I love it. I love Untamed, and I really hope they lean more into the pet going into End of Dragons with the day 1 patch of it. And I really hope they boost up the damage a little bit, because I would like it to compete with Soul Beast that way. I could viably run it in comparison to Soul Beast, which I will be running it no matter what, because to me it's way more fun than Soul Beast ever was. But yeah, very excited for this one. Very, very excited. This is what I'm looking forward to most about End of Dragons, is being able to play with the Untamed permanently instead of just playing it over a course of a week. So yeah, very fucking excited about this, man. End of Dragons to me looks amazing. I'm very excited for the fishing and the boats and the siege turtle and going to Cantha and experiencing the new meta events and dynamic events, experiencing the new strike missions, earning some of the new achievements, getting some of the new cosmetic rewards. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be really a once-in-a-lifetime thing for me, because I've never experienced the Guild Wars expansion launch. So this is just going to be fun. It's going to be pure fun, as well as hopefully getting living royalties in 6 throughout the year as well. And then hopefully ArenaNet announcing that they're going to be doing another expansion in a couple of years, because I think that's going to be a very important thing for them to do. And yeah, that's going to cover it. Peace.